Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and this will be my analysis of some of the most popular futures markets out there. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick, a clarification, I'll be using the 1 hour time frame, meaning each of these candlesticks here represents 1 hour's worth of time. And we'll first start off by looking at the NQ. And as a reminder, if you do the micros, then the same general idea will apply to those ones because the charts are just mapping or mimicking one another. But you can see right here, big movement the final hour, not the final hour, but during the final hour when the stock market was still open. Big surge here, and now we have coming into play looking like this area of resistance right there, which was talked about previously, and that's at the $83 mark. So 22,083 we'll call it, give or take, right around there. So that seems to be well within striking distance now moving forward into Friday. So keep an eye on that dynamic. And then in terms of areas of support, the level here that has continued to, the price is respected, is that purple line there, 50 period moving average. If you've watched past videos, you know that I've talked about that one. And as I've said, and as long as the price continues to hold above that level, then that's what you want to see. And you can see multiple times again, the price just has been maintaining very, very nicely above that area. In the event the price were to break down below that purple line, next area of support, and I think the next potential area where the price would at minimum fall down to would be that 778 area down around there. So keep an eye on that. But overall, like I said, with the way the price got the upwards movement this afternoon, just brings the question: is this going to continue up into this area of resistance and then potentially push up through? We'll have to see what happens with it, but definitely a good solid movement here late day on the NQ. Next one here, we're looking at the ES, and very, very big movement here as it broke out through that level. And this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you have, then you know that I've been talking about that 134-ish area as a key area of resistance. And you can see that even late day, it was still behaving as a resistance, and then finally got the big move there. That all occurred on very impressive, very solid volume. Definitely it'll be interesting to see if this breakout continues moving forward. So keep an eye on that dynamic if you like to play momentum or anything like that. Now, if you prefer to try to play pullbacks and stuff like that, then this is where the first, in fact, let me just get rid of that line there as it served its purpose for now. Same with that one. But from a pullback standpoint, just basic rule in charting, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So if there is any sort of pullback, that 134 mark, which was a resistance moving into today, is now going to be considered that initial area of support. But if there is a deeper pullback, then like the NQ, just continue to watch that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. Very nice upward slope to it. The price, I never even hit it, but you can see, broadly speaking, respected it right there, kind of just cruise slightly above it before finally the bigger move right there. But really just firing on all cylinders right now, so it'll be interesting to see if this late day momentum here carries into the next session. Next one here, the YM, and yeah, the Dow Jones, it just is kind of in its own little world right now. Truly just doing whatever it wants, doesn't really care about anything, doesn't care what the NQ is doing or the ES. It's just doing its own thing. And so if you're somebody that's trading this, I highly doubt you're complaining about it or you're disappointed in it. But yeah, it's been a pretty wild ride here, and as of right now, we have basically not a whole lot that can be said because yes, you could buy a breakout right there. For me, I don't know, is that chasing the price? Should you let it pull back a little bit? That's going to be up for you to decide. But just such a strong move here. You got to think, is there going to be some sort of pullback? And if there is a pullback, then that's where these pivot points come into play. Could that area be a nice bounce point? And that's just also based on the foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance. So just to establish right here, that area was certainly a level of resistance, even right here, provided congestion, but when levels of resistance are broken, they tend to act as support. Does not mean it's guaranteed to occur, but certainly a more than plausible thought to have that if the price were to come down there, you could get a bounce off that area. So 413, definitely an interesting level for pullback players. And then again, like the other ones, you can also continue to watch and keep an eye on that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. But as right now, like I said, buying up around this area, but I understand there's momentum traders, there's scalpers, there's plenty of ways to approach all this. But in my mind, after the big surge here, you got to think this thing needs at least a little bit of a pullback. But then again, this thing has been kind of in its own little world, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes in the next session. Next one here, taking a look at crude oil, CL, and yeah, the rough ride continues. I've been talking about how this has been, rough ride assuming you're bullish. But if you're bearish, and yeah, this has been a beautiful ride, but I have been talking about how this has been bearish, and these lines here have just, there was that bearish pattern. It broke down through, and it's just continued to get more downside pressure. So, at this point, just really a question of just getting those lines out of there, and we'll start afresh. And as of right now, like I said, things have not gotten any better. The price during that hour, very, very nasty. Tried to bounce up and then just rolled right back over and is now pushing down through this pivot point here at 74.40. So it's really just a question of how bad is that move going to get. And as I zoom things out, you can see that been a long time since the price went down around this area with the next overarching level of support. In fact, let me just, well, I need those there because it's going to match up. But let me just bring this next area of support down to these lows right here. And you can see that these lows right here, no, you can't see because it's behind my ugly mug. But this section right here has been an area of support. And then you also look where this pivot point is right there, that orange line, and you'll notice that they're basically the same exact thing. Now, does that mean that for sure guaranteed the price is headed down here to 72.80? I'm not saying that, but technically speaking, I mean, there is just a big old space on the chart now where there just isn't anything that suggests maybe you might find some buyers. So again, no guarantees. The claim is not it's going to drop straight down to 72.80. My only claim is I don't think it really shock anybody. I don't think anybody like, whoa, I can't believe that dropped down to 72.80. I don't think anybody would be shocked or anything of that nature. But as it's breaking down through here, it's really just a question of does this open up the floodgates more of bearish pressure? So we'll see what happens. If there is any sort of attempted bounce back upwards, key area of resistance now resides right here at the top of that pivot, which sits up there at 75.88. So keep an eye on that. But as of right now, at least in my opinion, the most interesting dynamic is, when does this bleeding stop? Is there going to be any sort of bounce or not? But as of now, the bears seem to be just not only still in control, but taking over further control. Next one here, I would say probably the most popular precious metal market right now, and that is gold, GC. And in order for this to make most sense, I'm going to go ahead and extend this level out. This was a former area of support that I had drawn into play. But with the price breaking down below it right there, when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. And I mean, check it out how this played out. I mean, just you could throw this right into a textbook. Broke down below that level, then went back to acting as resistance there, resistance there, resistance there. So the power of charts and moving forward, if there is any sort of attempted curl back upwards, then that's going to be the first key level that needs to be broken. Can the price get back above that trend line? Because as of right now, and as you've seen, the price has certainly been struggling at that area. So keep a close eye on that dynamic. And even if the price does break through there, I mean, that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want to get too excited about it because not that far away, you then have the overarching level up there at the 774 mark. In the event this pulls back some more, then from a support standpoint, you have an area down here right around this former breakout point right here and lows, which sit at the 745 mark. So keep an eye on that. And then if the price were to come down there and break down through there, next key area of support you'd want to keep a close eye on is that 200 period moving average. So yeah, gold's pulled back a little bit, but does have a nice little surge here. Pulled back. Does it get the move back upwards on Friday in the next session? We'll see what happens. So that wraps up the analysis. But before I go, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for my free, or not, excuse me, not my free community, but my community that is not free. But it's a very minimal price, and it's amazing what the $99 will do to keep out the rift draft. So if you're looking for a serious group of traders that like futures, that are good at trading futures, then I'd highly recommend you consider joining. And when you do the math, it's not $99 per month. It's $99 for 3 months. So you do that math, that breaks down to $8.25 per week. So as I always say, I can't make any guarantees, but I can say that I'm very confident you'll get at least $8.25 per week worth of value. So definitely consider that if you are looking for a serious group of futures traders. So just go to clayjar.com/team. So again, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoy me doing the analysis on the futures markets, please let me know down in the comment section, hit that like button, and then also if you could hit that subscribe button, that really does help out. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you consider joining the community.